Hey guys, it's Arlyn of Awakened Sponda. I'm coming on this evening because it is Earth Day, and on top of that, it is also new moon. And the new moon is in Taurus, and Taurus rules the planet Earth. So it is like a double whammy of Mother Earth today. And I don't know about you, but I totally picked up the vibe today. Like it was so much more light, so much more fresh and clear. Just very nice, gentle day. And it could have had to do with, maybe so many people like celebrating Earth Day and being outside and just sharing that energy. That very well could have been it. But it felt very, very just refreshing today. And it's also a new moon. A new moon brings that energy of newness, right? So we get to set new intentions today. We get to decide today is a good day to prepare yourself for the next cycle, and that we've come through all this past cycle, and now it's time to start a new cycle. So tonight's a good night to really just set some new intentions, set some new goals for yourself. Just this is brand new, and it's a good time to look at things as brand new, whatever it may be, that you're looking at in your own personal life. I was gonna do a little card pull, but before I get into that, I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about the energy that we had this past week, which was just wow, like holy snarky, whoa. I mean, it was just a really intense energy. It's very fire energy, very fire, coming from all angles. It doesn't matter who it was or what place you're coming from. Everybody was like throwing fire. It was just a very passionate week for everybody, whether good or bad, or whether going the right way or the wrong way. I don't know, but it was coming out. So I witnessed a lot of that, and I went through really intense experience just on social media, where I had woke up one morning, and it was funny because the night before I had done a burn ceremony actually, and so I felt really great. I had a lot of like really creative ideas for the next day to really press forward in some things, and just feeling real good. And I woke up, and next thing you know, I have this like just all out attack on my character on my Facebook because of a post that I made, which shocked the shit out. I mean, it didn't shock me because people are people, and I know I've seen enough of how they act and what they say and how people think. But at the same time, I was just like, whoa, wow, okay, this is what's happening right now. But what the things I learned from this experience, in general, about just observing, especially after stepping back and observing it. I was observing as I was going through it, but when I could step back later, I was like, wow, the revelations just poured in. It was crazy. But yeah, I was all out, like fully, I mean, attacked really, like a bunch of hyenas is what it felt like while I was in it, because it was just back and forth, and all of a sudden everybody's just like coming at me, like, who are these people? I don't even know these people. It's crazy. But what I noticed, what it all was about, I mean, truly, it was an attack on whether I was, we have this whole political thing, what it did was serve to show me just how hypnotized, and when I talk about hypnotized, this is the things I'm talking about, because it takes people straight to like keywords, keynotes, right? I have posted, okay, so we'll go into one. I posted on it was an article on Donald Trump. On the cover photo, Donald Trump was signing not a petition, he was signing something that had to do with online sex trafficking, that you can persecute sex trafficking, right? When I posted it, it's 2 years old. I didn't even know it was 2 years old. I just posted it because I was like, oh wow, fucking cool, love that. And I love that at least, Donald Trump, I'm not any like, oh, I'm all about him and I'm a fucking Trumper, because guys, let's first get this straight. I have been an independent my whole life. I am such a rebel when it comes to this shit, and a revolutionist when this comes to this shit. I have never even voted for anybody that I halfway thought. I would throw my ballot before I did that junk. So don't come to me with your right wing, left wing crap. First of all, let's just get that straight. Let's get it straight. I think for myself. I have my own viewpoints, period. And I'm a humanitarian, a true humanitarian. I care about human rights, period. So, anyway, moving along. I saw this, and because I am big advocate to end sex slavery, sex trafficking of any nature, women, children, men. It happens all the time, guys. These are the things that nobody wants to talk about. It's too uncomfortable to talk about. It's just like abuse, but worse, because it's so rampant, not just in America, but all over the world. People are human trafficked constantly every day. They're born into it, some of them. There's so much to say about this issue, but nobody really wants to look at it. And here's what I want to say. That's one of those shadows in our world that we have to look at some point. Nobody wants to look at it. However, the funny thing is how ironic that we will watch Hollywood, we'll watch movies that pertain to rape, right? Rape, sexual abuse, mental abuse, violence, killing, murdering, bloodshed. Once again, always over-sexualized, always sexualized. Porn, oh, it's just whatever with porn. Do you know how many people come in through sex trafficking and porn industry? So I have a real heart, real passion for that, and a passion for women and children and men too, because men get put in this as well. Hugely. So when I saw this, I thought, oh, awesome. And I posted it. I was like, thank you. Well, it got so many likes. Actually, it got so many likes from all kinds of people. And then it started one right after the other on my comments. Not people that liked it, but the first comment was, oh, this is from 2 years ago. I said, oh, okay. I was like, oh shit, okay. I was like, oh, well, then I was like, oh, well, either way, he addresses it, and I like that, and I appreciate that, because he does. And this I will say about Mr. Donald Trump. He does address this. And I think it probably comes from his daughter. I don't know. But for whatever reason, it doesn't matter where it comes from. It's there. So, at least I can celebrate these victories, okay? There's a lot of other shit that really I can go on and on about other issues. Like, we won't get into those right now because we're going to stick here. But, so anyway, well, at least he addresses it. No comment back. If anything, then it starts trickling down. Everybody's having a hate fest on Donald Trump. They missed the point. The whole reason I posted that was a victory for sex trafficking. And everybody on that post that had the nerve, I get really passionate about it. It's just so hateful. And it's really hateful more to themselves. And I feel sorry for people who who reacted the way they did, But I do see from their standpoint where they are in their life, and they're all wounded. I saw it as like a bunch of wounded animals, attacking and blame. Here we go with the finger pointing, and this is the hypnotism I'm talking about, because all it took was them seeing a picture of Donald Trump to set them off. They didn't even read what it was about. And then they attack me as if I'm a pro-Trumper and I'm some red hat wearing redneck. Get the fuck out of here. Seriously? If you knew anything about me, and a lot of these people do. A lot of these people do know about me, and that's the funny thing. It's like, how dare you? You don't even support anything I do that's good for people, and that's all I do is good for people all the time. But then you come out the woodwork when you see something that has a Donald Trump face on it. Like I'm saying, the focus should have never been on him. And this is where we've gone wrong in society, where we've gone wrong when we watch too much TV. And when we follow our neighbors and we follow the Joneses. Because you're so caught up in something being right or left, or black or white, that you miss the whole point. And I had another video with a girl named Candace. I don't know everything about Candace, but what I do like was the way I liked her energy. I liked the way she addressed it was a panel of people she was addressing. But if you listen to what she said and took the damn, the fact that she was sitting there talking as I guess she's a Republican, and she was talking to Democrats. It was the message that she had. That's what I liked. And I liked her energy. And guess what? I can post that. I can post whatever I want. And here's the difference is that I know clearly now how clearly I see through different lenses than a lot of people, because it all came out in the wash with these posts. Like, how could you dare? Like, I mean, I was attacked for being racist. I mean, I was attacked for being a privileged white woman. I was attacked for just, oh, I'm just wrong. I had people seriously tell me I was just wrong. That I'm wrong. Like, they're right. Anyway, it's crazy. It was just crazy. And there was no love in it. It was all about competition and all about who knew what more. And the silliest shit I've ever heard. And honestly, all I really saw was a lot of hurt, wounded people that have not healed yet. That's the reality of it. That's the reality of it. And so that's where I do have a heart for everybody. I do. I seriously love them, even though it's like, forgive them, they know not what they do, because they really don't. They really aren't seeing clearly. And anyway, it was a wow of an experience, really. But what it did show me, in essence, was that we really are in this collective healing right now. And some people are willingly walking through it. They're going through facing the shadows. They're going through seeing things, and not just, it's things within themselves first, always. Because if you are like this, for example, I'm going to use Donald Trump as an example. The hate, the spitfire, the down with Trump, and the just mockery. This has been going on for years, but it's been really thick lately, of course. And always when people don't want to focus on themselves, they project on other people. We all know that. But that's how I see it, and that's what I see in it, especially when somebody has been, you know, people are so mad. He's a tyrant. He's just a narcissist. He's just egomaniac. Yes, there's a lot of shit he says and does. It's just ridiculous. He's like a character. It's crazy. I just laugh at it, but see, I can do that because I know where I stand, right? I don't hold him to anything, right? But if you're finding yourself that angry, that fired up, that mad at this man, that you just hate him and blame him for everything, and he should burn, right? People are so nasty. All you're doing is projecting yourself. So what is it in you, I ask? What is going on in you? What trauma has not been healed? What have you not looked at? I used to do this, and I will say this coming from a heart that knows. I used to do this. I had a really incredibly abusive relationship. I mean, not to mention my traumas even growing up, but I've had 2 oppressors in my life, and I was abused physically, mentally, spiritually. We could go into details. It was really bad, really bad, and I made it out of that. I got out of all that. But it took me years to get to the point where I truly was healed. Like actually forgiven and moved past the anger, where I didn't project, where I didn't, anytime, because I used to get fired up, anytime I would see somebody being oppressed, I would want to like kill the oppressor. I would get so angry. Just like I see everybody, wow! And it comes from both sides. It comes from all sides. It comes from anybody that's not healed. It doesn't matter what side of the fence. It doesn't matter if you're red or blue, or it doesn't matter if you're a redneck or goddamn, whatever. It doesn't matter who you are. We're all human, so we all deal with traumas the same way. They just it might come out to a different person, right? A different object of our blame, an object of our despise, and blah, 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 whatever. My point is I used to do this, and I was such a deep anger that it would make me almost black in the brain sometimes, because I was just not tolerant of it, didn't like it. But as you start integrating your shadows and you begin to really do the work, and sometimes this is like, you can do this on your own. You really can start to do this on your own. But having, sometimes it takes like going to a counselor, going to a life coach, going to somebody who you can sit with for some time, or just do it on your own. We're all capable of our own self-healing. We really are, but we have to connect in order to do that. But I see a lot of unhealed wounds, and a lot of people that just don't want to face that there could be anything in the shadows in the world, right? They're happy in their little bubble. They're happy with their box, and they're happy with Hollywood, and they're happy with all the things that keep them in their little space. But you know what? As the majority of a lot of us, so many of us have been in this collective, working on ourselves and healing and growing and learning. We can't sit here with you guys anymore. We can't be on that level anymore. And things are gonna have to change. They are changing, and whether you want to see it or not, we see it, and we're gonna have to call things out, and it's gonna be your choice whether you want to grow and shift, because this is a paradigm shift. Things are never gonna be the same, and I don't think they should be. And I hope when we come out of this that a lot of us, I already have some, I know so clearly, even more than I already did before, what I will support and what I will not, and what I will tolerate and I will not. And I think a lot of us have, and I'm just praying that all of us, continue on that path, and because the more we do and we stay together, unified, even though we are unique, the beautiful thing is our uniqueness. Our uniqueness is our most powerful tool, because we've all had different experiences, and we vibe and resonate different. That's how we can help things grow and come together, because of the uniqueness, not because we're all the same, Anyway, really, like I'm saying, this is a collective healing effort, and so if you see people coming out and just the duality, the extreme polarity you're seeing, a lot of that is, and I think that people that are with me know, but I said, like, I almost feel like those posts, it was like, not only would it feel like an initiation of some sort for me in my, integrity and everything, but it also felt like, a lot of the time people like me, we do get dumped on a lot, because we do stand authentic. The more authentic you stand, the more different you look, especially at this transitional point. You may be the object of the most attack, and it's not because everybody hates you. It's really just more or less you're like a transmuting point. And I found that a few times in my experience, and when I've had random people dump on me at times, and it's because whatever, it's a trigger for them, anyway. It's a point of attraction, and in a way I just see that so much good came out of that, not only for myself, but because it made me think differently about some things. It made me think and go inside, because that's what I do when these things happen. I don't just look at things and go, oh, I'm right, I know what I'm talking about. I mean, if that's the way you handle things in life, my God, you ain't never gonna go anywhere. You're gonna keep going around in circles. And that's another thing I see. It's like you have a choice right now to remain in the loop, because that's what's gonna happen if you don't decide to shift forward, change gears, to be a little more accepting. When you accept other people, like when you accept yourself, you begin to accept other people, and you don't feel the need to attack people for things that you don't agree with, and I can't say I've ever been perfect in that, but what I will say is lately I have come to more of a place where I'm standing in my truth a little more. So if you ask me, I'm going to tell you, and that's that. That was another point of me feeling like it was an initiation for me to step further out and just being me, because a lot of I have felt for a couple, I follow spirit, and I feel like everything comes out in time, and for me, there's a lot of things in me that I wanted to say a long time ago that I wanted to start speaking on, but it would have been too premature. So, there's still work to do before I could express myself in certain ways. And I see why now. But now I've also come to a point where more or less I can speak more clearly and directly, and not be afraid to completely, stand up and say what I want when I want. because I can be me. And I don't need to be worried about any of you guys, no matter who you are, even if you're my friend, because I do have many friends who have beliefs that I don't believe. I don't walk with that. And I've just kind of always, I don't want the argument right now, and it's a time and space for everything, right? Well, now it's a little more me standing up and speaking. And not only that, I want to express to you how I've received numerous messages lately about other people messaging me and noticing a little different of me coming out, I guess. I don't know, for whatever reason, energetically coming out of the woodwork, saying, hey, I've been feeling like this, and blah, 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 and I really appreciate your post, and I really appreciate the things you say, that kind of thing. And they say they feel the same way, and they just feel that they aren't ready to share because they're scared. Why? Because they're scared of what the masses and the media might think. Because everybody's been such a bully, and that's one thing I won't tolerate anymore, is nobody's gonna bully me. You're not gonna bully me because I'm different and because I don't think in the old paradigm. I don't think in one side or the other. Okay. And I haven't really. I just think that it's being noticed more now because people are starting to have to question things. So it's sticking out a little more now. Anyway, so with that said, I just want you also to be encouraged, those that are like-minded, to know that there's so many more of us out there, and people are really, really growing and awakening. And I hate to even say waking up, because really they're just really integrating. They're integrating their wounds. They're beginning to heal. And that's what happens. And when that happens, your frequency shifts, your energy shifts, and we shift. And it's a beautiful thing. And that's what we came here to do, in essence. We didn't come here to do politics. Okay? We didn't come here to hurt each other. We didn't come here to be lazy. I mean, maybe you did, and that's okay. Everybody has their free will, and those people will do that. But not everybody wants to do that. Some of us want to go somewhere, right? So, that's a long spiel. But I'm glad I got it out. I also want to tell you one thing. I want to say this. 2 years ago, I had a dream about, okay? And I had this kind of things, I get premonition dreams all the time. I had a dream about Donald Trump. And in that dream, I was protecting him. And I woke up and I was like, what the fuck? In the dream, he was just sitting there, and he was like, behind me as I was defending him against a lot of crazy people and a lot of crazy energy. And I was like, I was holding them off, and I said, I don't know, and I was like looking at him kind of like, what this guy? And then I'm like, he's like, I don't understand why they hate me, but the thing is, he looks so innocent and childlike in this dream, and so just really, he didn't understand. I could tell energetically he just did not understand. And I was like, I don't know. I don't even know that I said anything to him. I was just like, it's okay, And I sat down next to him. That's all I remember from the dream. But I woke up and I was like, what the fuck? Because at this time, I hated the man. I don't follow any of this stuff. But just what I did see, I just was disgusted by him. I didn't like him. I didn't like anything about him. And I remember even getting, ask my brother. I got in a big fight at the house with him one time. And he said, if you ever, I was like, you're not my brother, you support this shit, blah, blah, blah. I mean, it was bad. I was also drinking at the time, and I, into my know-it-all and very unhealed place that I was in. So this is the attitude I came from. And then I had this dream. And I'm like, 2 years ago now. I have it written down in my journal, actually. I pulled it up a couple nights back because it was a couple weeks ago, because I was like, what the fuck? I remembered the dream. And I do know that from that point forward, I never, like I said, during the past 2 years, I don't follow politics. I'm not into that shit. It's garbage, hoopla. I'm focused on what I do, my work, right? But anytime I did see stuff with him, and I saw people, I would always see people trashing him, just trashing. Hollywood trashes him. I mean, the worst. This is the worst anybody's ever treated a president. It's horrible. And it began to disgust me. I started seeing it, and I was seeing it differently. And I was going through my healing process too. So I just started to see more, I started to have more empathy. And I'm like, this is fucked up. And my perception began to change a little bit. And it was just more of not a shift like, oh, I think he's so great or anything, because that's ridiculous. But it shifted my perception, period. Like, and it grew. And I'm not, it's like, again, 2 years ago, I wasn't thinking about all these things. And then it comes back around when all this goes down, and it's just like, wow. I saw it and I was like, holy shit. And it had everything to do with my healing process, because I don't judge people like that anymore. I look at everybody individually, and if you are projecting, that's a projection. You have to understand what you see in other people has everything to do with you and nothing to do with them. So, everybody talks so much, he's a narcissist, all this shit, but judging from what people put on my post, remember I talked about that? All of that energy, you make him the narcissist because you're so focused on him. Do you see that? Do you see that? It's a codependency, which is codependency and narcissist. They're the same thing if you haven't figured that one out yet. That's why they go together so well. They need each other. So the codependent needs the narcissist to remain in the sick cycle. And it's a hard thing to face, but you have to face these things, and don't shoot the messenger. People want to shoot me apparently all the time now, and whatever. You can't shoot the messenger, man. I'm just here to share my experience and to lift this planet up and to raise humanity up, man. That is what I'm here for. That I know. It's not going to change. It's not going to change because you bullied me. It's not going to change because you don't like me. And I believe in my heart that eventually that a lot of you guys would come back around and you're not going to hate me forever. It might just be now. Yes, I don't know. Anyway, so with that said, now it is the new moon and it's lighter energy. And so all this, I feel like all that kind of burned and passed through. Now we're entering a new cycle, brand new cycle. So here we go. New cycle. Now you get to choose. Do you want to heal? Do you not? What do you want to do? So that said, let's just pull the cards. I've talked really long, so it's going to be really long, but it's okay. So let's just see, what do we want to know in this new cycle coming up? Oh, here we go. Completion. Something is dead and completed. Oh, you gotta throw it out, right? So, wow, Ten of Swords is like a brutal ending to something. And I feel like that is exactly what we just came out of. So now we may just be processing more into the new cycle. 10 is completion as well. So let's see. How do I want us to tone? Always get this card during these crazy reflection. I always get this card, I feel like, for every video I do on the moon, but yes, reflection, okay? All right. Let's keep going. What do we want to look at? This new cycle. What do I want to look at? I want to look at a new emotional beginning. A lot of times this card is all about either a new relationship to self. It's a singular cup. So it's like emotional fulfillment, starting anew emotionally. Now we also got vision. Got the Three of Wands, which is all about, somebody just waiting here for your ships to come in. Vision. I see this as a visionary card. So maybe going within. Oh yeah, and then we got the Hangman. So this is all about enlightenment and pausing, being still, gaining that enlightenment. I feel like it's an emotional enlightenment. Having vision for the future. Vision for the future, emotional fulfillment. relationship fulfillment. If there's any relationships in your life you might be struggling with right now, we're talking reflection. We're talking about the reflection. I talked about the reflection earlier, but anything happening in your relationship is directly related to you as well. Now, there's things with other people you can't control how they're going to act, but you can control how you're going to act, how you're going to be, and what you're going to do introspectively in yourself, right? You have to own your shit. And that now is the time. This is the time to own and be responsible for your own things. And if you find yourself projecting out to people around you, or if you're judging people around you, like, oh, look at her, look at him, oh my God, I can't believe you said that. I can't believe. If you're constantly finding yourself doing these things, it's time to go within, and it's time to get enlightened, catch a new vision. You're going to need that vision for where we're going. You're going to need, this is a time to really be processing, guys. This is why I'm offering actually the reflection thing online where we're doing one-on-ones, because it is so helpful to sit in front of somebody and just, in the simplest way, you don't even have to know what you want to talk about at the time or what's going on. But it's a time to tune in. That's how we get our compass on, how we get our direction moving, by going within and, finding that vision. This man is looking out. It's not a movement card. None of these are really movement. This isn't a movement card. This is like emotional, this is starting anew within and relationally even. But in order to do that, you got to sit, pause, catch your vision. What's going on? Where are we going to go? How are we going to go about doing it? This is wonderful energy, especially for a new moon. Makes total sense. Get your enlightenment. Pause. It's okay to not move fast. It's okay to sit and think about something. If somebody's pushing you to do something, to make a decision, to do it, and it doesn't feel right, say, it's okay. Now we can just calm down, because I'm not ready yet to make that decision. Doesn't mean you're not going to make it. But you got to catch your vision first. You need to know where you're going before you start taking those steps. So anyway, let's see. One last card. One last card for New Moon and Spirit. Anything to do with this? What's going on this cycle? What's going on this cycle? Protecting treasure. I love this card. Can you see it? You see it? There's a girl in a treasure box with an umbrella over the treasure box. Protecting the treasure. Oh man, it's like protecting the treasure of yourself, your heart. And protecting the treasures in your life. Those relationships in your life. Those relationships in your life are everything. The ones that you know you need to be in. Okay? I'm not talking about some unhealthy, toxic relationship that needs to go, and you probably know it needs to go. I'm talking about what's important. And the way you're going to protect what's important, those relationships, is by first going within, getting your vision right, getting your enlightenment on, because that's what's going to help you this season. Protecting the treasure that is you. The treasure that is all that's yours, your family, your close, your friends, your tribe, everybody that you come in contact with, really. But yeah, protecting treasure. Know that you're a treasure, first and foremost. All those wounds we carry around, until we address them, until we look at those shadows, until we look at those things. And I'm asking you to look at the things even that are showing up on the outside. Maybe disturbing to look at, maybe something you're like, I don't want to see that. But it might be time to open up your eyes and look at it. Because if you don't invite that darkness into the light, you don't invite the subconscious into the conscious, then you can't shift it. You can't, control your thoughts, your feelings, and it all controls you, and you loop, and you loop, and you loop. And it's time. I think we're all being given this time to move forward, not just on our own, but as a whole. As a whole. Everything that's in here is projected out here. So notice how your relationships are showing up. Notice how you feel, how you speak to people, how you talk. Notice how you're engaging with people. Because how you engage with people is going to determine a lot of where you actually are. And then you can begin to look at how you can move into that a little more, how you can adjust things, or how you can look at that, bring it into light. So, with that said, I'm going to leave it at that. That's your new moon reading, and that is my whole spiel for this time. And we're moving into a whole new week. So tonight, if you get to see this tonight, or whenever you see this, you'll still be in the energy of the new moon tomorrow. So let's move forward. Let's look at ourselves. Let's look at ourselves and look at how our relationships are. I think that's the gist of these cards right here. In the whole, everything that just came out is let's look at those relationships. That's how we can begin to identify from the reflections, from seeing how we're interacting with people around us, how are we interacting with life. What are we looking at? What are we avoiding? So that's it. I'm leaving it at that. I love you guys. We are almost at 40 minutes. Woo. Okay, hope you watch this. I don't know how many people will actually watch this. So anyway, I love you guys. I wish you well. Happy Earth Day every day. Go outside, get some fresh air, take a deep breath. Join me for a reflection session if you like to. I will talk to you soon. As within, so without, as above, so below. Love is truly all that is. So you have to be it, live it, express it. Be your authentic self, no matter what.